Welcome back everyone. Today is the third lecture on real numbers class 10 CBSE. So today we will be discussing the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. The main use of this theorem will come for the later lectures of irrational and rational numbers. But today we will see about the fundamental theorem of arithmetic and some examples related to HCF and LCM and some properties which will be very important from class 10 point of view. So let us start. We are starting. So real numbers class 10 CBSE. Other board students can also watch this thing. There is no issue. Basically, the problems I am following are from NCERT only. That's why I am telling that CBSE. So let us start with. So before starting fundamental theorem of arithmetic, let us know about composite numbers. Composite numbers. So what are basically composite numbers? A composite number is a number which is formed by multiplying two smaller integers. These are positive, obviously. Positive number. And this is not the formal definition. I am just telling you something. That's why this is not formal definition, just for your understanding. So 12, for example, is 3 into 4. So basically 12 is a number which is by some small numbers. It is also 6 into 2. It is 14, 7 into 2. So these 12, 14, these are all the composite numbers. And you should remember this statement that 1 is neither prime nor composite. This is a quite famous statement. We were quite young. I mean, still I am young. That's not a problem. But I am telling that when we used to be in class 9, 10, and even in the below classes like 7, 8, this statement, I don't know, this may be a bit funny, but this statement used to fascinate us. We will always used to say 1 is neither prime nor composite. So basically we were a child. So leave it, jokes apart. So basically what are composite numbers? I think you have understood. So now coming to the next step, that is now we can talk about the Euclid's division lemma. So my computer screen is just sorry for the inconvenience, it is just working a bit bad now. So let us start now. Fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So first I am writing the statement here. The statement is every composite number can be factorized or expressed as a product of primes and this factorization is unique apart from the order in which the prime factors are. Order in which the prime factors are. So, or occurs. So basically this may seem a bit of a different language to you all first. This was same for me also. But this is actually a quite simple thing. What it tries to tell us is that basically any number, for example we take 8. So basically 8 can be represented as multiplication of prime numbers. So basically for example 8, it is 2 into 2 into 2. So this is actually 2 cube. For example 15. So this is 3 into 5, 15. For example 16, this is 4 into 4, but if we divide the 4 again, 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, this comes out to be 2 to the power 4. So what this theorem states is that every composite number means any number, since all the numbers are composite except 1, every number can be represented as factors of prime numbers. So basically to understand this we can think of this. For example we have a number like 72. So let first think in this way. For example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now any number greater than 10 can be represented as factors of the numbers below 10. Or you take any number, you take 36. So it is 6 into 6, or it can be 9 into 4. So basically 36 can be represented as a number which is between 1 to 9. You take a bigger number, you take 144 for example. It is 144 is we can say 144 is 12 into 12. So it is 6 into 2 into 6 into 2. So basically any number which are greater than 1 to 9 can be represented as a factors of 1 to 9. Now 1 can be written as 1 into 1, 2 can be written as 2 into 1, 3 is 3 into 1, 4 is 2 square equals to 2 into 2, 5 is 5 into 1, 6 is 2 into 3, 7 is 7 into 1, 8 is 2 into 2 into 2, that is 2 cube, 9 is 3 into 3 equals 3 square. Now you can see one thing, that every factor here is constituted of primes. 7 into 1, 2 into 3, 5 into 1, 2 square, 3 into 1, 2 into 1, 1 into 1, 3 square, 2 cube. So from 1 to 9, every number we can write or factorize them in forms of primes. And now if we take a number like 144, it is 12 into 12, which is 6 into 2 into 6 into 2. Now 6 can be written as only primes, 2 into 3. So 2 into 3, 2 is already prime, 6 is again 2 into 3 and 2 is already prime. So 144 finally came down to a step where it is of 2 to the power 4 into 3 square. So finally 144 came down to a step where it is only constituted of primes. Now you can take any number. 144 is just an example. Now you can take any number. For example, you take 108. So 108 is actually 9 into 12. So 9 12s are, it is actually 9 into 6 into 2. Now 9 can be expressed only in form of prime, 6 can be expressed in only for primes, 2 is already a prime. So finally 108 will come 3 cube into 2 square. So you can see that finally any composite number we can finally represent it as a product of primes. Now another important line which we have to consider. So I hope this thing is clear, that every composite number can be factorized or expressed as a product of primes. Up to this, I guess it is clear. And now the second thing, this may seem a very normal line, but it is actually very helpful for proving some problems in our next lecture. This factorization is unique apart from the order in which the prime factor occurs. So what does this mean? For example, we take 144. So basically 144, if we, now in your previous classes you have learned how to make prime factorization. So if we make the prime factors of 144, so it is 272, 236, 218, 9 and 3, 3. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 to the power 4 into 3 square. Therefore, 144 equals to 2 to the power 4 into 3 square. Now, the beauty of mathematics is that you can find no other prime factorization of 144. What we mean by this is that apart from this 2 to the power 4 and 3 square, there can be no other totally prime factors of 144. For example, you cannot find 144 equals to 2 to the power x into 3 to the power y, or maybe any other prime 7, 5, z, k, where x is not equals to 4, y is not equals to 2, and z comma k not equals to 0. So this may be a bit difficult for you to understand, but I will make this thing explain to you. So basically 144, you can find no other factorization. If we take x, any value other than 4, for example we take x as 2, so 2 square into 3 square, if we take here 2 square, then we will not be able to find any other combination to fulfill the factors of 144. So basically the only thing possible, and this zk not equals to 0 means anything to the power 0 is actually 1. So if you multiply this by 5 to the power 0, 1 or 7 to the power 0, 1, it remains unchanged. That's why I have written z comma k not equals to 0. If we take anything other than 0, then it will be not there, because 0 gives only 1. Anything to the power 0 is 1. So basically there is no other ways to express 144 in its prime factors other than 2 to the power 4 and 3 square. This is a unique. Now we can write 144 equals to 2 to the power 4 into 3 square, or we can write it 3 square into 2 to the power 4. We can write only in these two ways. There are no other possible ways. Here this thing is only written that this factorization is unique apart from the order in which the prime factors occurs. What does it mean? That the order, first we write 2 to the power 4, here first we are writing 3 square. This is a bit silly thing, but in terms of mathematics this is an important thing. And this may seem a bit silly to you, this thing, that the unique way, but we are going to prove a theorem in next lecture which will help us in many problems. For that, this is very important. Now the main use of fundamental theorem will come in irrational rational numbers in the next two lectures. Now for this lecture we should concentrate just on a thing, because I think in NCERT there are some problems. If you know these things you will be able to do this. That is a relation that you need to know: product of two numbers equals their HCF into LCM. This is you may know this thing in your lower classes, but there are some problems in NCERT in real numbers based on this. In NCERT, there are some formulas written on HCF like product of smallest power of each common prime factor in numbers. They are a bit confusing. Don't use them or don't try to see them because they are a bit confusing. If you know this thing, product of two numbers HCF into LCM, you will be able to solve most of the problems. So if we take a problem here, for example, this is a question, a first problem. So we have to find the HCF LCM of 96 and 404 by prime factorization. Oh, okay, sorry. We have to find the HCF by prime factorization and then find LCM. So basically first we have to find HCF, and with the help of HCF we have to find the LCM. So let us take here 96. So let us factorize it. So 248, again 224, 212, 26, 2, 3, 3, 1. So 96 equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 to the power 5 into 3. And similarly we do for 404. Now we can be a bit tricky in this case. See, always going from 2, 3, 5, 7. If we see something bigger is getting a factor, we can just take that out and later try to just factorize that. So here from 404 we can see a big factor is 101. So why not take that first out? So if we take 101 common, then this is 4 and this 2 2s are 4, 2, 1. Now 101 is a prime. I hope you know that. So this is actually 2 square into 101. So basically if we are finding the HCF, then this is 2 to the power 5 into 3 and this is 2 square into 101. The maximum term common is 2 square. So this is 2 square equals to 4. Now coming that we have to find the LCM with the help of HCF. So here comes that property, that product of two numbers is HCF into LCM. We write that in a short way, that is A into B equals to H into L. This is a short form, product of two numbers HCF into LCM. So we can write this as the numbers are 96 into 404 equals their HCF. 4 into the LCM we have to find, let that be X. So X equals to 96. Sorry. Actually these are electronic boards. We use electronic equipment, these are called digital pad. So sometimes it becomes very difficult to write on these things. So let us again come back. So this is 96 into 404 divided by 4, and this comes out to be 9696. When you do this, 9696. So finally we are here first finding the HCF, and with the help of HCF we are finding the LCM. Now another problem, I think you should know this now, regarding to problems in NCERT. So is there any value of n for which 4 to the power n ends with 0? So basically here this is a type of question, another type. So basically from each question you just see the way to do the question, the approach. Now the more you practice, the approach gets accustomed and your mind will get sharper. There is nothing like he is born with a sharper mind or he is born with a dull mind. Everyone is equal. Practice makes the mind more sharper. More you practice, your mind gets sharper and you have the ability to think more. That's the thing. There is nothing like born intelligent or something like that. Basically, if you practice, you will definitely crack everything. So just you see every problem, you just learn the approach and then practice. You will just do it. Now, in this type, again coming back, sometimes I get a bit deviated, sorry for that. Is there any value of n for which 4 to the power n ends with 0? This is a type of question. Now 4 to the power n can be written as 2 square to the power n, and that is 2 to the power 2n. Now always in this type of questions, what you have to do is that 2 to the power 2n you always have to find. This could have been 4 to the power 2n, 6 to the power 2n, anything. So what the thing you have to do is, for example, you write 2 to the power 1 equals to 2. 2 to the power square equals to 4. 2 cube is 8. And 2 to the power 4, 16. 2 to the power 8, 2 to the power 5, 32. And 2 to the power 6, 64. Now in any number, this is the beauty of mathematics, in any number you take, if you keep on doing this thing, what I have done, that making powers, you will see these miraculous relations, that 2, 4, 8, 6, again it gets repeated. 2, 4, if it's 2 to the power 7, then it's 128. 2 to the power 8, 256. 2 to the power 9, it's 512. So 4. So after 6, again 2, 4, 8, 6. After 6, again 2, this will continue. Now for every number, maybe 2 square, it may be 3, it may be 4. The numbers, I am talking about these numbers, this may be 3, 4, 5, 6. For every, after a certain time, you will find this pattern. This is the beauty of mathematics. So in case of 2 to the power 2 to the power anything, we see that it always ends with 2, 4, 8, 6. It is always between these 4 numbers and it never ends with 0. So this is a nice problem. This is a good problem. So what I am telling is that you just see this problem, you have learned a new approach here. That this can be your approach to solve problems. You just know the approaches. Now, based on your practice, more you practice, more you will get to know more questions, and your views will get more open. So finally, let us stop here. Now in the next lecture we will start about irrational and rational numbers. 2 more lectures and we will finish real numbers. So thank you. Coming soon again.